When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Absolutely, unequivocally, yes is the answer. Now, here is the host of The Long Bearded Guy, the Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at JEWIL International, Gordon D Melville.
Hey everybody, thank you for being here today. It's Red Friday. We got Remembrance Day coming, but Red Fridays, for those of you that don't know, Red Fridays, you're with the Long Bearded Guy, Gordon D Melville on Inspired Choices Network. I get all excited and miss my cue there. Red Fridays, remember everyone deployed. So I have a real big soft spot for first responders and military. And so thank you for your service if you're listening. And on Fridays, I wear something typically that has red in it to remember that everybody, remember all the people that are deployed. So anyway, that's the deal on the red jersey. That's Kitchener Rangers, not New York Rangers, just so that I don't get hate mail from people that don't like the New York Rangers. It's a junior hockey team here in Canada. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for being with me today. We're going to get right after it because we got lots to cover today. There's lots going on. This is a huge topic. We're going to have today's struggles being tomorrow's strengths. That's today's struggles being tomorrow's strengths. And when we focus that way, the things that we're looking at today that we battle with, and we all have stuff that we struggle with. We all have demons that we struggle with, and we all have situations we struggle with. So the struggles that we have today will turn into strengths and power tomorrow, because we have infinite amounts of worth and power. And I don't think we understand that. And a quick illustration with that is about an elephant. We see these great big massive animals that can knock over trees and bring down houses, and massive strong animal, and they're tied by a little rope to a little stake in the ground. And we go, what the heck? Or they're wrapped, the rope's wrapped around a plastic chair, right? And you're looking at it going, what is that? They could just pull away and walk away, but they don't. How come? Why will that elephant not move? Interesting story. The way they train those elephants when they're baby, little itty bitty elephants, they tie a chain around their one of their legs, and then they put the other end of that chain, either they bolt it to the wall or they bolt it on a great big boulder or something really heavy. And that baby elephant pulls and pulls till they bleed. They pull and pull and pull and pull. And they realize, and as they get bigger, they make the wall the stronger, or they make the boulder bigger. But the point is, over their young growing stages, their formulative stages, they have them tied to something that's bigger and heavier than them. And as they get older, they realize, you know what, I can't get away from this thing. I'm tied to it. I can't get away. And so now you have this great big, massive, powerful animal restricted by a little piece of rope and a little stake in the ground, or a plastic chair. Why do they not move? Because they've been conditioned, I can't. They've been conditioned, if I try, I'm not going to be able to get away, so I won't try. Wow. How does that impact our struggles? Turn into tomorrow's strengths. If I'm looking at those struggles and I'm trying and pushing back, eventually I go, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. People go, I give up, and I give in. And I don't try anymore. People don't try anymore, and they don't keep to push. Good becomes the enemy of great. They stop. They go, hey, I'm good. It's good. It's good. And even if I'm not good, you know what? It's too hard. I've been beat up, and I don't want to do it anymore. And so today we want to talk about those things. And if you're with me in the listening live, jump into the chat and say hi. Tell me where you're listening from. I'd love to know where you're listening from. And then if you get into there, they'll send you a link to get into my live studio audience if you want to do that. But tell me where you are. Please reach out and let me know where you're at. And if you're listening, you can find us on any of the iHeartRadio and any Roku, any of the places that you would normally listen to live radio. And or on smart TV. We're on Apple TV. We're on Google TV. On your smart TV, just pull it up. Find the ICN, the Inspired Choices Network logo, the app, and come on and listen. We really encourage you. Please like it, love it, subscribe, share. That's how we grow. That's how we get to the next steps, right? That's how we expand. And that's the goal of this. My mission is to have a meaningful connection with more than 10 million men globally in the next 24 months with a message of hope that says there are positive ways to deal with the emotion we all feel every day. And some people look at me and go, 10 million, that's a lot of men. And I hear pop in the back of my mind saying, hey, you know what? There's more than 8 billion people on the planet. Conceivably, half of them are men. So that means there's more than 4 billion men. 10 million is not the target, it's the jump point. But I can't do that without help. I can't do that without this kind of broadcast, with this kind of reach. And I keep putting my fingers into other pies that can expand the reach. So please like it, love it, share it, subscribe, bring friends, recommend it. We want to try and get that scope as big as we can. All right. Segment number one is steps towards positive coping strategies. So when we talk about today's struggles, the things that we battle with and the things that we fight with and the things that hold the dirt, we don't want to push them away. Those struggles and challenges we have on a day-to-day basis hold the nutrients we need to grow, right? It's the dirt that we need because it has the nutrients in it we need to grow. So we don't want to push it away. Bruce Lee said, I don't want my life to be easier. I want to be stronger. I want to be able to understand how it works. I don't want easy. You put a seed in the ground to make it grow, right? You bury it in the dirt. There's a native saying that says, they tried to bury me. They didn't know I was a seed. We need those struggles. We need today's struggles. Why? Because it's building us up and it's holding the nutrients we need to grow. As humans, we don't grow on a mountaintop. We grow in a valley, right? On a mountaintop, we're like, hey, I don't need anybody. Like literally, I don't need anybody. I'm good. We need help. We still need help. We just don't realize it, right? So we need help when we're in the valley. So that's the struggles. So I wanted some steps. The first one kind of topic is about building resiliency, is a way as a coping strategy to get through the struggles of today. So what are some building resiliency? How do I do that? How do we do that? There's a bunch of different ways, but we want to look at our bounce back ability, right? When we get knocked down, how do we get back up? What we need processes in place to be able to get back up quick. We recognize it, we see it, we hear it, we feel it, it knocks us down, we get right back up. Boom, we get right back up. We dust ourselves off and get back up. So bounce back ability, we want to make sure we're good with that. Internal assets, things that are inside of us, we take stock of. Problem solving and communication. They say a lot of times with relationships, communication is one of the key things that blows up relationships, because people don't communicate. People don't tell each other how they feel, really, truly how they feel, right? So internal, those are assets. Problem solving ability. How do I get through stuff? How do I think it through and all the different steps to get out of the situation? So we want to think about that. External resources that are available to us, like community organizations and personal relationships. So reaching out to friends and going, hey, I'm struggling. Hey, I'm having, can you just sit with me? And sometimes it's not a matter of somebody that has the answers. Sometimes it's just somebody that can sit and be quiet and listen. Sometimes I've sat, and I know this will come as a shock to a lot of you. I can sit and be quiet. I have sat and just been there for somebody. And I'm sure we all have, where we just sit. There's no conversation. They're not looking for answers. They're not looking for words. They don't have the words maybe. So you're just sitting with them and just sitting with them so that they know they're not alone, so that they know, hey, you know what? I'm not by myself. That's a huge thing. We're so interdependent. We need those kind of things. So personal relationships and community organizations, there's YMCA, YWCA, there's lots of suicide prevention, and here in Kitchener, it's Kitchener Council, KW Council, but there's lots of organizations that are out there that can help. Church is a place you can reach out to that can help. So building resiliency has a lot of steps to it. Examining our thinking is a step we can do that can help build resiliency. in our mind so that we can get through today's struggles. Because they say life's only 10% what happens to me, 90% how I respond to that, right? Good and bad things happen to everybody. We don't have any control of that. What we have control over is how we respond. But I have to have, and we've talked about that before, we need to have the tools in our toolbox to be able to deal with that in the moment. If we don't have the tools in our toolbox, it makes it very difficult to get through. So examining our thinking, that's introspection, right? Thinking about, okay, so what's the struggle? Why is it there? What am I supposed to learn? How do I get through it? I'm not alone. There's organization and people to help me. My friends are here to help me. Cognitive restructuring is a great big massive thing, but it's just, that's changing paradigm. It's the way we think, right? Getting our brain around how we think and shifting it or pivoting it at where we need to be able to get through the challenge. So we won't talk too much about that one. Cultivate a healthy social network. And I don't mean social media, because sometimes that's a negative, it can be a negative thing. We're comparing our worst self with other people's best self. Social media seems to have done a thing where it brings people globally together and locally pushes us apart, right? It's taking us away from connecting live with people around us. Cultivating healthy social network. Who are the people around you? Who are your friends and family and colleagues and the different people around you that you can plug into, so that when you get in struggles and when there's bigger things going on, you have somebody to reach out to. It's difficult to reach out to if there's nobody there, and feeling alone is horrible. When we feel like we're isolated and alone, cultivate your social network, reach out to people, connect to other people. Find meaning and purpose. Again, we go back to our worth and our value. What's your definite major purpose? What's your vision for your life? When we have those things, it helps us get through those struggles, because we look at it and go, oh, I know where I'm going. And yes, these are struggles. And yes, I got to get through this stuff. But you know what? This is going to get me closer to my definite major purpose. This is going to help me to find, once I find my meaning, lots of people don't know why they're here. And that makes it hard. They struggle because they don't know where they're going. If I get on a plane and go, hey, I want to go to, I don't know, I was in Maryland a few weeks ago. But if I get on a plane in Toronto, if they don't have the plans set into the autopilot, we're just going to willy-nilly head in that direction and hope maybe we get there. We need a plan. We need a schedule. We need some way to mark, hey, this is how we got to get there. Find your meaning. Find your definite major purpose and your vision for your life. And then reach out and get help when you need it. Stigma, you all know how I feel about stigma. It's judgment. It's just judgment. Step past that. Your journey is for you. It's not for anybody else. Nobody else has to understand it. Nobody else has to agree with it. Nobody else has to stamp of their approval on your life or your journey. Their opinion doesn't mean anything. If you need help, reach out and get help. If you need, and if you don't know where, reach out, email me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Reach out to somebody, reach out to your pastor, reach out to friends, reach out to family, if you don't have anybody, like I say, reach out to somebody like myself. We'll help you. There's always, always, always somebody to help you. Build resiliency so that you get through today's struggles. I hope that makes sense. And I hope you're feeling my heart. I hope you're feeling my heart. I want to do a quick shout outs. We got to pay some bills here. So my first one is to my good brother, Jose Escobar. Love him. He's the founder and CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. Check out the bookshelf, the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf, to learn more about the morning and evening mastery routine. Sorry, the morning and evening routine mastery program that's changing people's lives. It's unbelievable. You want structure that helps you through today's struggles? Setting up structure, morning and evening, bookending your day. The program will help you install systems on the bookends of your day to maximize your morning and evening routine. Set up a free strategy session with Jose Escobar today, and you can reach him at www.theentrepreneur'sbookshelf.com. Incredible program, incredible program. My other sponsor I want to highlight today is Kat Schwarz. My sponsor, Kat Schwarz, is the founder and CEO of a groundbreaking company called Compassionate Healing Services and offers a completely unique approach to treating physical and mental challenges. Check her out on Instagram at Compassionate Healing Services or email her at info@compassionatehealingservices.com. Thank you so much to Kat and Jose. I love them. I can't do this without them. I love my founding sponsor partners. They're incredible. Thank you so much to them. We're going to break here, but you know what? While we're doing that, don't forget to pause and breathe. Pause and breathe to ground yourself. Okay? Pause and breathe. We'll see you on the other side. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville, on Inspired Choices Network.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at JEWIL International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to the long-bearded guy at gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for being with me today. We talked about in segment number one in the first piece, just before the break, we were talking about building resiliency so that we can get through today's struggles. We're talking about today's struggles become tomorrow's strengths. And where does that come from? So the building the resiliency to make sure that we have the tools in our toolbox to be able to get through those struggles when they come up. Now we want to talk real quick, what are some benefits to having a positive mental health or mental attitude or having positive mental awareness? Are there any benefits? Why would we worry about it? Outside of the obvious reasons, because there's a lot of obvious reasons why you want to have resiliency, you want to have a positive mental attitude. Why would we want to? So here's a couple things. If you got your journal and you're writing these things down, and I hope you are, I hope you're taking notes. I hope this stuff is practical. I want this to be practical. To say to somebody, hey, go do self-care. Great. What does that mean? Hey, go journal. What does that mean? Hey, that's not practical help. I need to know what are the steps. We need to know what are the steps to get there. So I want this to be practical. And as much as we want to remember, that's why I carry a journal around. People see me with a journal everywhere. Everywhere. Hey, Brian, thank you for joining us today, brother. Appreciate you. Love you lots. So having a journal, my friends give me a hard time sometimes going into a movie. I've got a journal in my hand and they're like, you're going to go and sit in the dark for 2 hours, you Goomba. What are you doing? You goofball. You're going to sit in the dark. Why do you have a journal with you? I'm like, you know what? I don't know when I'm going to hear something that inspires me or something I really want to remember. It comes from everywhere. It's going to come from all over the place. And if I don't have a place to write it down, or don't have some place to record it or get it written down right away, I'm going to forget as much as I want to. We've all had that experience where we're sitting there going, oh man, I knew I should have written it down. What was it? What was it? So write it down. If you have a journal, if you don't have a journal, grab a piece of paper, grab something so you can write these things down, so you can review them later, so that you can know and remember what we were talking about. So benefits of a positive mental attitude. We can learn new skills with a positive mental attitude. It's very difficult. And my brother Brian is a vice principal teacher. It's very difficult to learn new skills, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's very difficult to learn a new skill if I have a negative attitude. If I'm pushing back and, oh man, I don't want to do it. I don't want to learn it. I don't want to learn it. And lots of kids are like that. Lots of adults, more adults, I think, are like that than kids even. Learning new skills is way easier when we have a positive attitude, a positive mental attitude. Today's struggles are easier when I have a positive mental attitude. It doesn't make it, it doesn't take away the heart of it, right? It's still difficult, but I've tried both, right? I've tried positive dealing with stuff. I've tried negative dealing with stuff. I'm going to choose positive because it works better and it keeps me in a positive space. It keeps me in a much happier place. So learn new skills. Physical exercise is a strategy to help promote positive mental health. It's a benefit. Physical exercise will help me get through today's struggles. Why? If I want to go for a walk, I put earphones on it, right? Put on your MP4 and listen to a podcast like, I don't know, hypothetically, I don't know, the long bearded guy, maybe, right? Find your podcast, or listen to something that's uplifting, or music that pumps you up and gets you going. Just going for a walk, it releases endorphins in you. Exercising, if you're frustrated, sometimes going to the gym and pounding iron and lifting weight and or hitting a heavy bag, that exercise lets that out. That physical exercise is a benefit. It's a coping mechanism to help get through today's struggles. And as you do that, it makes you stronger tomorrow. Today's struggles, tomorrow's strength. Things that make us stronger. We're working on those muscles, not just on our body physically, but in our mind. We're working on those things. So physical exercise, supporting others. I used to find, you know what, and it makes a monster difference. When I was bedridden and my massively depressed and in that suicidal state, I would wake up in the morning and go, you know what, I just can't adult today. I can't get there today. And I would reach out to friends. I would go to the bottom of my conversation list and Messenger and in regular straight text, and I'd go right to the bottom. I probably have 200 or 300 open conversations because I never ever take them away. And so I scroll right to the bottom, and then I'm, hey, you know what? I'm thinking about you, because I am in that moment. I'm looking at their name. I'm thinking about them. I'm thinking about you. I don't know where you are today. Don't know what's going on for you, but you know what? I'm here for you. I love you. Big hugs. And then I would send it off. And I would do it with 60 or 80 people. That made me feel better. Reaching out and supporting other people gets us out of our space where we're blinders, where I'm stuck in this thing alone. There's nothing going on. Like there's nobody else. I'm the only one that has to deal with this. Supporting others, getting out of ourself, focusing outside for a little bit, helping other people with their struggles will help you with your struggles. Weird how that happens. It's beautiful, the synergy that Papa's created by helping ourselves or helping somebody else. Very powerful, very powerful. Having mindfulness is number 4. Having mindfulness will help us get through today's struggles. And the more we do that, and what's mindfulness? What does that mean? That could be prayer. It could be meditation. It could be just sitting and listening to positive music, or listening to a podcast, or visualization of what your definite major purpose and your vision is for your life. making it real. So you can, I have a friend that said to me years and years ago, she had this beautiful house that she wanted to have built, and she would visualize that house. She spent hours and hours and hours and hours over a long period of time, but she would visualize. She said, Gord, I've hosted house parties in that house. I've cooked in the oven. I've opened a bottle of wine and poured it out and had parties with people. I had my friends in that space. In her mind, that's some serious, serious visualization. But that's really powerful to be able to help us get ahead. What does these in a today's struggle? What does that look like? If I can get through the struggle, what does that look like? Sitting and visualizing for a few minutes, being mindful of what that looks like. How do I get through it? Maybe if I can see getting through it in my mind, then I can execute that when I open my eyes, when I stop thinking about it. But mindfulness is something that's going to be a benefit. It's going to be a positive thing. And then again, reaching out to others again, that's such a powerful, 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 powerful way to move ourselves forward. Reaching out to other people helps us, helps push us forward. It helps us grow. Do we learn from helping other people? Yes. Do we see other situations where we go, you know what? Dang. People have said to me, Gord, with all the health stuff going on, that's got to be really hard. And it is. And I don't want to marginalize anybody's struggle. Anybody, but for me, is it hard? Yes. But I'll guarantee you right now, there are millions and millions of Ukrainians that will swap positions with me instantly so that they don't have to worry about getting shot or blown up or their families. They'll take whatever pain and whatever health challenges I've got so that they don't have to deal with the other stuff, so that they have peace of mind about the other stuff. Perspective. I've seen an illustration. I so want to change and add a piece to it, but it's a guy in a wheelchair looking to his left to a guy walking on the sidewalk. And he's like, wow, I wish I could walk. And the guy that's walking is looking to his left to a guy that's on a pedal bike. And he's like, wow, I wish I had a pedal bike. And the guy on the bike is looking to his left going, wow, you know what? I wish I had a car. She sees a guy in the car going by. And the guy in the car is looking to his left going, wow, you know what? I wish I had a nicer car. We're all looking to, we being thankful but not content. I get. That's where we need that's where we thrive. Grateful for where we are and what we have, but not content, because once I'm content, I don't push anymore. But the thing I would like to add to that meme is a grave or a headstone next to the guy in the wheelchair with a little blurb on that said, I wish I was alive. There's always, always somebody that's not as well off as you. No matter what situation we're in, there's always somebody with perspective. It's understanding there's perspective. So all of those things, learning new skills, physical exercise, supporting other people, supporting them, that's proactive, right? And being aware of them, not being oblivious to what's happening around us, actually paying attention. Mindfulness and reaching out to others, being, again, proactive about helping other people. Those are positive strategies to promoting positive mental health, positive mental awareness. We need to have those things. We need to understand what the benefits are, because if there's no benefit, we were not going to do it. We're humans, right? The whole WIFM thing. What's in it for me? Right? If there's nothing in it for me, most people and as human beings, most of us are not going to do that. If there's nothing in it for us, most of the time we don't do it. That's where visualization and reaching out and being aware of what other people are doing and their struggles. When was the last time you gave to a charity? $5. When was the last time you walked by a homeless person? Do we just turn our back and go, hey, you know what? I don't want to look at it. I heard a comedian one time say, hey, he was walking with a bunch of his buddies, and there was a homeless gentleman on the side of the road with a cup. And this guy, the comedian, put $5 in his cup. And his buddies are like, hey, you realize he's going to buy alcohol with that. And he said it occurred to him, I was going to buy alcohol with that. Perspective, right? Perspective. Papa loves that homeless guy as much as he loves us. Let that sink in. Papa loves each of us exactly the same way. We need to be careful what our perspective is. We need to be careful of how we view and what lens we're using to view the world and the people around us, because sometimes we're missing the opportunities to help other people because we're too caught up in our own stuff. Being aware in our struggle today exercises those muscles and becomes a strength tomorrow. We're going to take another break. My shout outs again to my great brother, Jose Escobar, is the founder and CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf, but check out the Connected Leaders Academy. There's some incredible events coming. If you do yourself a favor. If you're an entrepreneur with a history and a track record of success, and you can fit your ego inside of a door, inside of a room, this is the right place for you. This membership, the Connected Leaders Academy membership, takes your business to the next level and beyond, well beyond. This is the perfect tribe to learn, grow, and connect like never before. The Connected Leaders Academy tribe brings together some of the highest level entrepreneurs from all over the world. Set up a virtual coffee with Jose Escobar today. And again, you can reach him at www.theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. I'm a member of that group. I'm on the executive of that group, of that mastermind. It's an incredibly high mastermind. Like I said, if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to expand globally, they're in 12 countries around the world, about to be 13 and 14, several hundred people. That will be more than 1,000 people in the first year. You really want to be part of that. It's incredible. You're looking for a tribe. You're looking for a group of people and support the way we've been talking about to get through today's struggles. Reach out to Jose. And the other person I want to shout out to is Kat Schwarz. Amazing lady. Love her to death. If you email her info@compassionatehealingservices.com. So email info@compassionatehealingservices.com and mention the long bearded guy, because that's where you heard about it. You'll receive 20% off one of her services. That's $100 savings off Kat's most unique offering, which is spiritual private investigation services. Very unique product. Kat will use her skills as an evidential medium to reconnect you with a loved one who has crossed over and provide proof that their continued presence is still in your life. Email her at info@compassionatehealingservices.com. Don't forget to mention you heard about it on the long bearded guy. Energy is not, everything is energy, correct? There is nothing there's no energy created or destroyed. So when she's talking about connecting the energy of our family and friends and loved ones and people that have transitioned, their energy is still here. And it's just transitioned into a different form. Reach out to Kat. She's an incredible lady. All right, we need to take a quick break. Stick with me. We're going to talk in the next segment. We're going to talk about ways to measure our positive mental health, our positive mental awareness. Stick with me. We're with the long bearded guy, Gordon D Melville. Don't forget to pause and breathe on Inspired Choices Network. See you in a minute.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at JEWIL International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Long-Bearded Guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for sticking with me. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. So we've talked about steps towards positive coping strategies. We talked about that. What are building resiliency? What does that look like? We gave you 8 different ways to build resiliency. In the last segment, we talked about benefits of having a positive mental attitude, a positive mental awareness. What are the benefits of that? If you're just joining us now, pop into the chat, say hi, let me know where you're listening from. I would appreciate that. Please like it and love it and share it, subscribe, share it with your friends, bring more people. We want that reach to expand tremendously. All right. So in this segment, we want to talk about 7 quick ways to measure positive mental health. How do we know that? Because sometimes we don't realize. Agreed? Sometimes we go, hey, you know what? I think I'm okay, but things aren't working the way we want them to. Maybe we think we're okay, and maybe we're not okay. So how to measure 7 quick ways. Again, got your pen in your journal or something to write on? Emotional well-being is the first way to measure. Where's our emotional well-being? Are we in a happy place? Are we because joy and happiness are 2 completely different things. Joy is something that's always inside of us because Papa's there. Joy, I can always have joy no matter what my situation is. Happiness is something that's usually situational. Usually it's something around me, a situation around me that needs to give me that happiness. But I can have joy regardless. So emotional well-being, measuring ourselves, where are we at? Am I up? Am I down? Is my vibration high? Is it low? What can I do about that? Right? Again, exercise, go back to the benefits. I reach out to other people. Oh, there's ways to get my well-being and to check my emotional well-being. We check our health, right? We're supposed to, and a lot of guys don't, but I think a lot of people don't do an annual checkup with your physician, right? We're supposed to, but we don't. But what is it? What's that for? That's our physical well-being. We check it because it's important. So is your emotional well-being. And I think if we start to check our emotional well-being, the judgment around emotional concepts will change. It's already changing, but it needs a radical push and a shove forward. As long as we're willing to continue to look at our emotional well-being, let me rephrase. As long as we're not willing to look at our emotional well-being, we're not willing to measure our emotional well-being, we're going to continue to have struggles with depression and schizophrenia and suicide and all these things. Why? Because we need to make it mainstream. It needs to be part of, we do annual checkup. We go to a doctor knowing that I hurt my arm or I have whatever. Physically, we don't judge that. Physically, there's no judgment whatsoever in people checking through that. Mentally and emotionally, for some reason, there is. So emotional well-being is a way to measure our positive mental health, our positive mental awareness. How's our life satisfaction? Are we where we want to be? Our life satisfaction is a good measurement of our positive mental awareness. If we're not, as I have conversations, virtual coffees with people all over the place, hundreds of them, what I'm finding is people will show me their heart. I'm vulnerable and transparent with them. They're vulnerable and transparent with me. And then we find out what they do. They tell me what they do. And I either go, yep, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense, actually, because that's aligned with who you are. Sometimes it brings up a conversation where like, what are you talking about? You do what? And they're like, I know. That's not what I want to be doing. But well, why aren't you doing what you want to be doing? It's exhausting to try and do something you don't want to do and have to do. Exhausting. It doesn't mean and I'm not saying quit your job and before you find something else. That's irresponsible. We all have bills to pay, right? We need to keep the wheels turning, but go find something that is more in line with who you are. Life satisfaction. It's important. You're much happier. You're a much better example to your kids and to your friends and your family and the people around you. You're a much better. People talk about legacy. I want to leave a legacy. Legacy boiled all down. What is legacy? Legacy is what we've put and built into other people. Legacy is what we've left in other people, positive or negative. We're always leaving a legacy. Whether we understand that, acknowledge that, agree with that or not, we are all leaving legacy in other people. Positive or negative. You hear people say, people may not remember what you said, they'll always remember how you made them feel. It's legacy. That's life satisfaction. Because if you're frustrated and pissed off all the time because you're not satisfied with where you are, you're not grateful for where you are, or you're not aligned with your purpose, it's a huge amount of energy, first of all. And secondly, you're running around not happy ever. Life satisfaction. Optimism and hope is a great way to measure. Am I glass half full or glass half empty? And I laugh with these people they're arguing, hey, is it full? It's half full, it's half empty, it's glass half full, half empty. And I pick up the glass and just go, hey, I'm an opportunist. I'm going to drink the water. Right? Because it doesn't, I'm a glass half full type guy. I'm an abundance guy. There's liquid there, there's water there. Hey, I'm going to have some. Optimism and hope. Hope is very powerful if you can harness it. Very, very, very powerful. Self-esteem is a good way to measure. Where's my self-esteem at? Where's my again, worth and value? Where is it? Where's it anchored? Where's the foundation of it? Do I understand really, truly what my worth and my value is? My self-esteem, what is it? I hope you feel my heart. I really do, because so many people struggle with their worth and their value. And we talk about it all the time on the show. If you follow me at all, you'll hear me talk about it constantly. That's important. Resilience and coping is a way to measure. Am I coping well or not coping well? Am I resilient? Do I have the techniques and the skills in place to be able to deal with today's struggles? Is that muscle strong? Because tomorrow will be if I put the process in place properly. My spirituality, again, is another way to measure whether I have healthy, positive mindset, awareness. There are things, what I find for me is if things are okay this way with Papa, things this way seem to figure themselves out. That doesn't mean this is easy. It means, you know what? I know he's there to help me through it all. I know he's there to hold my hand. I know he's there to give me the strength. He's right here inside. I know he's here to help. So my spirituality, and then social functioning, interpersonal trust. Again, that's just a long, long way to say, hey, you know what? Do I have interpersonal relationships that are healthy? Am I getting along with the people around me? Right? Am I a toxic person to be around, or do people like spending time? Do people reach out and go, hey, can we hang out? Hey, can we have a virtual coffee? Hey, can we get together and have and go to a movie or do some other fun things? Can we go for a hike? I want to spend time. Can we spend time? Do people do that with you? Because if they don't, there's a challenge. Maybe that measuring stick of where we're at in terms of our own positive mental awareness is not where it belongs. It's a good way to measure. It does, and it's not about their opinion. It's not about them giving you judgment about what's going on or what you're doing or what you're not doing. It's about wanting to be. My brother Brian, I love spending time with Brian. We live in two different cities, and he's busy, I'm busy, but you know what? We make time to get together. We make time to show up in each other's lives. Why? Because it's important. We like spending time together. He's a great guy. We always have a great time together. Really, 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 really good way to measure. We need to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up, but I've got a call to action for you. And I got something else I want to share. So you know what? Let's take a quick break. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville. That's me on Inspired Choices Network. Stick around. Don't go anyplace.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at JEWIL International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is the Long-Bearded Guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it. We're just about done. We're going to wrap up and figure out where we're at, figure out what's gone on today. So we have been talking all day about today's struggles, the things we struggle with, the battles we have today are tomorrow's strengths. The nutrients we need, those struggles we have today are the dirt that hold the nutrients we need to grow and will build us up. Right? It'll put us in a completely different place. It'll build those muscles so that when we get into struggles, we've built resiliency. We have the tools in our toolbox. We know what to do. We know how to help ourselves out of those situations. And when we need help, we reach out for help. If we can't do it inside of ourselves, we reach out for help to somebody or some place or something, or in a place where we know we're going to get the help we need. Very powerful stuff. Understanding what the benefits of that. It's always easy. We've tried it with and without. We've tried it negative and we've tried it positive. The positive always seems to work better. I'm happier with a positive space. Even when there's tough stuff going on, I'm happier if I'm in a positive space. And then 7 ways to measure our positive mental health or mental attitude. We've looked at ways, how do we measure? Do people reach out and talk to us? Lots of people reach out and want to get together. My virtual coffee, I'm packed with virtual coffees. Why? Because people want to spend time. I want to spend time with them. I reach out to my mentors and my coaches, the people that I'm accountable to. If you're a coach and you don't have a coach, that's not good. Why do we need coach? Even if you're not a coach, you need a coach. You need somebody that can show you what your blind spots are. You need somebody that can show you where you're at. Somebody that can listen to you, that gives a crap about you, wants you to succeed, isn't competing with you, wants you, and will celebrate with you when you have victories, and will be there to hold you and hand you a tissue when there's struggles. The call to action today is to embrace the struggle. The call to action today is to embrace the challenge. Embrace the struggles. That's where we grow. Don't push them away. Don't wish life was easier. Build up those muscles so that we're stronger, so that you're stronger. Lean into the struggles. We need to do that. You want to be stronger? You want to be more well-rounded? Get obsessive about everything in your life. Be obsessive about leaning into those struggles. Be obsessive about being abundant and finding the abundance, not the lack. Again, I want to talk just real quick. Please, please, please. The mission is 10 million men in 24 months. And I'm doing coaching with men and women. Glasses seem to be a little bit. Right. I'm doing coaching with lots of different people, men and women, but my heart is for entrepreneurial men. My heart is for men. Because we put our emotions in a box, we put it on a shelf, we don't deal with it. That's what we're taught. Don't look weak. Next week, we're going to talk about the last unexplored, richest continent on Earth. The last unexplored, richest continent on Earth. We'll find out what that is. We'll find out where that's at. We'll find out, and maybe we'll explore it. That would be fun. And it's interesting. We have been doing it. That maybe is a clue. Maybe that's a clue. That's going to be a really, really fun one because there's a lot to unpack with that. The last unexplored, richest continent on Earth. That's Friday, October 28th at noon on here on Inspired Choices. But like I said, bring people. Please like this, love it, share it, subscribe to Inspired Choices Network. If you're not a subscriber to ICN, it's a free app. It's a free download. Put it where it's easy. Put it where you can find it on your phone. Put it on your TV, on your smart TV. If you got Google TV or Apple TV, smart TV, you can find it. Search ICN and watch it on your TV. This will come out as a TV show tomorrow. You want to watch it and see my nice bright red jersey with my Lest We Forget Remembrance Day jersey. It was a one-time jersey that they only wore for the Remembrance Day game that year. But you want to see the jersey? You want to see the beard? Watch it on the TV. Watch on TV. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for plugging in. And I again, from the bottom of my heart, I pray that these are practical, not just instruction, inspiring, not just information. There's lots of knowledge out there, but there's a dearth of wisdom. There's a lot of knowledge, but there's a dearth. There's a real lack of wisdom. And so trying to put that out there, trying to put out the tools and strategies that help people, giving them awareness of what's going on in their life. That's where my heart is. And if you listen to any of the show, you'll know that's where my heart is. I'm here to help people. I want to help more people. And I want to be able to help inspire, educate. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Let me say that again. Knowledge is not power. I can know everything about everything, but if it doesn't affect me and I don't use any of that knowledge, I might as well not know it. If I can read and I don't, number one, it's tragic, but I'm on the same level as somebody who's illiterate and can't read. The fact that I know how doesn't mean anything if I'm not using it. The power comes in the use of the knowledge. So, and that comes from awareness. We're going to see you next week. Make it another great week. I love you. Massive hugs. Live abundantly with intention. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for tuning into the Long Bearded Guy Show. You are appreciated and loved. Gordon D. Melville returns Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on the InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, make it another great week, leading with love, powerfully designing, crafting, and living out your positively impactful legacy life you were created for. Big hugs.